Yes. What's the word, y'all? How's everyone doing out there? You tuned in to Knock 'em Out the Box. This is episode 84. My name is Vinnie Paz. I'm here with my co-host, with the co-most, the Mr. Majestic, left, right, left kid, Mr. Brendan Long. I didn't give you room to say 84.
84.
What's the word, kid? How you living?
Chilling. I'm chilling.
Irish
chilling,
Billy
man.
Betts, how you?
Very well. Very well.
Good.
Very well.
Good. Billy, it's time to make some money this week after a slow week, pal.
Good. I hope we got some action.
We got some action.
What's the matter?
Before you jump into that, I want to congratulate you on another successful release today. Jacinto's Praying Mantis streaming everywhere.
Yeah, everybody that supported early and bought the physical product. I know that is a dying medium, physical product. But thank you, and thank you for everyone who tuned in to the live Q&A listening party we did on YouTube. If you missed it, it's over on the Vinnie Paz YouTube. I answered questions and we listened to the record. But Jacinto's Praying Mantis, it's everywhere now. For those who are wondering, why is it on streaming yet? If you're part of the JMT store, sign up, you get everything early. So what we try to do is give everyone a few days of exclusive material, but it's everywhere now. Jacinto's Praying Mantis, 7 new joints. I'm proud of it. Working on the next record as we speak. But enough of that.
The kid don't stop.
I'm trying not to, my brother.
Get that. Jacinto's Praying Mantis.
Yes, sir. Let's anything to start off with, B, before we get into news and notes? Anything
man,
you wanted to say, or we'll dive right in, or what?
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like that. I really feel like that ESPN card that we thought wasn't going to be great was a great card.
It was good.
And by the way, I just wanted to let you and I always shit on the ESPN app that you can't watch it once it goes away. You put me onto something, and I just wanted to put the listeners on real quick before we get into news.
Yeah.
I fell asleep, woke up the next day. You told me, you could watch this
on demand.
On demand. And I found it on the on demand within the ESPN app. So if you guys ever miss a fight, you're doing something, you can't find it, Vinny put me onto it. I want to put you guys onto it. You can find these fights, or not all of them, but at least this one, it was less than 24 hours. I haven't checked it since, but I was able to watch the whole card. And
I want to say
at my leisure.
It's giving me a lot of problems, the app, in terms of buffering and stuff like that. And I know typically what people would say is, well, maybe it's your Wi-Fi. And it's like, I'm watching stuff. I'm watching Top Boy on Netflix and it's perfect. So it's not Wi-Fi.
It's not your Wi-Fi. It's me too.
The Zone and ESPN Plus has been problematic for B and I, and he's in New York and I'm in Philly. So yeah, but it is good that they're putting stuff up quickly the way that the Zone does.
Yeah.
So that's a positive thing. You
can't always sit down and watch it as it's happening. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens.
Of course, stuff happens. So they've been putting stuff up relatively quickly as of late. Before, not so much the case.
You drink 1, 2, 3 beers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're a little tired.
Your NyQuil out.
Yeah.
And that's about it, baby. But yeah, let's hit these news and notes.
Dive in. So there's not tons of stories, but there's a lot of meat on the bone for each one. So Naoya Inoue is planning to fight TJ Doheny on September 9th in Japan, rather than Akhmadulayev, and then face Sam Goodman in December, Bob Arum has revealed. He said that this is because Doheny has won several fights in Japan and is already popular in the country. Eddie Hearn on Bob Arum saying Naoya Inoue will fight TJ Doheny next, as nobody's heard of Akhmadulayev. What drives me mental about Bob Arum is he's a liar. I've never heard of Akhmadulayev. Come on. The only competitive fight in the division for Inoue is Akhmadulayev. So I'm appealing to Bob Arum, Mr. Honda, Inoue, don't give us a mismatch. I'm sorry. Inoue with Doheny is a horrendous mismatch. Don't fucking lie to us. And to fight fans, rather than just praising Inoue, who's an amazing fighter, don't take this bullshit. Akhmadulayev has a better chance than anybody, and he'll give you a great fight. So Eddie's not having it. I'm with Eddie. You and I spoke about Aram before saying Akhmadulayev. Nobody knows who he is.
Right.
And I said, ironically, he might be the only guy that people do know in this division.
Right.
We talked about he wears his weird uniform. The weird,
the little beret from
uniform.
his from his he plays dress up.
Hey man, Akhmadulayev is really good. So I'm with Eddie. I'm with Eddie on this.
I am
I'm
too.
gonna be honest with you, B. I don't know who TJ Donnie is.
I do.
I don't
because
know
I do. I know who he is.
And
he's he's a real lunch pail guy, Irish guy. And as soon as you said the name, he fought Daniel Roman. He lost.
Okay.
He fought
Mick
Conlon. He lost years ago. I just had to look up his age because he's fucking 37. And he lost to Sam Goodman.
B, look, those aren't good losses. Those aren't those. We talk about what good losses means. Look, guys, there's no good loss, but there are such things as a loss that you come out of it looking better than you did going in. A loss has made some guys. And made some careers.
This will not be a competitive fight.
No, he blows him out of it. He gets him,
he's ranked 15th or 20th in the division.
Hey man, look, let's be honest here, man. If you're going TJ Doheny and then December Akhmadulayev, maybe I'll step back a little bit. But the back to back of TJ Doheny in September and then Sam Goodman in December,
I'm not happy with these.
I'm not happy with that, especially for a guy that is you and I flip flop 1A 1B is
no, this is
certainly arguably the best fighter on planet Earth. He steamrolls both of these guys. I'd be shocked if they went a combined 8. I'd say these will go a combined 6 or 7 rounds. Yeah, these two fights, if this is what happens. If he wants to take that touch in Japan in September, on September 9th, against flip a coin, one of them into Murodjon Akhmadulayev, who's really good, I can live with that. Can you?
Sure.
And it's September, December. You're not doing it and then waiting a year. You're not doing the Floyd. You're not doing the Canelo. You're not doing it.
I'm not sure what Bob's doing.
I'm not either. I think
he's 90 years old.
You got to start thinking about that part, B. You said it before I got to it. You got to start thinking when you saw Don King at the Broner thing, when you see Bob, you're like, yo, these guys are really getting into the he's just walking off over there, man. Can someone go get him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Bob, come on, Bob.
Come on, Bob.
Yeah, this is like when remember George Bush Sr. started sexually harassing the AIDS or whatever. He's pinching everybody's ass and shit.
Yeah.
He died 8 months later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit that Mr. Burns age where you're just a devious
Yeah, what was it? He was calling the Josh Taylor fighter a robbery, jumped in a ring, Bob.
Yeah, he went nuts and
he went bananas. Yeah.
I mean, when an opposing promoter does that, there would be, your nature would be to get angry. Eddie was legitimately cracking up.
Yeah.
Because he made such a buffoon out of himself.
Right.
He was like, I'm not, going to turn this into something heated. This is so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I
don't know what to say. Top Rank to me, it's still the best promotional outfit out there, but someone's got to step in and grab the reins, it appears.
I mean, what do you think? So let's say this is what does happen. So then why he fights Akhmadulayev in the first quarter of 2025. I mean, I do not, bro. We do not need to see TJ Doheny and Sam Goodman back to back in September or December.
Certainly don't.
If he takes TJ Doheny this September 9th and says, all right, Murodjon Akhmadulayev December, no problem for me. But a huge problem if these are his next 2 fights, meaning TJ Doheny and Sam Goodman back to back. That's bad for everyone involved. It's bad for me and you trying to turn people on to anyway.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this only feeds the narrative that he needs to come to America. He fights bums.
He's not helping himself. And I don't know that he cares because he's not a young kid anymore. He's a young fighter, but you know, and we've spoken on the air ad nauseum, defending the opposite side of this argument, and that is that he's a star there and he can do, you know, when Canelo, they say Canelo can do what Canelo wants to do. Inouye's kind of like, yo, because you're Americans and you're ignorant, you don't know that I'm a legitimate star here, and you don't know our population, and I'm a star. I can't walk down the street. But I don't think he's the type of guy to want soft touches. I think he's a competitor, you know,
no,
and that's why this is weird to me.
It's weird. Yeah. I mean, it could just be Bob talking shit.
It could be. He's 109 and he could just be rambling. And anyway, it could be like, yo, my guy, I want a real guy.
Right.
David Benavidez's team has made it clear that their priority remains to fight Canelo Alvarez. His promoter, Samson Lukowitz, said Benavidez will be ready to get back into training and take that fight in September. Look, I really like David. We spoke about his fight last week. He really quickly went from, I don't care about Canelo anymore. I'm not chasing that. I'm campaigning at 175. Forget it. I don't care. I want Bivol. I want, you know, I want the winner of Bivol. I want the winner of Bivol, Beterbiev, et cetera, et cetera. So very quickly saying, I'm going to go back down and I'll campaign at both, which basically means like, I'm going to say that because if I'll take the bigger fight, whichever one is, you know, meaning bigger money. He pretty quickly went down to.
He also means, hey man, if someone wants to fight me around like 170, 173, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
If I don't got to suck fully down to 168, I'll fight a light heavyweight fight against someone who also doesn't want to do that. Yeah, it was fast. Within 24 hours, I'm going back to 68.
You could argue that he started it, not fully 100%, but started at the press conference.
Right.
Post-fight press conference.
Yep.
There was a bit of it. I'm not saying tucking his chain like he's scared of anybody.
No.
But whatever was going on at 75. See, it's tricky, man. B, you've talked about this so many times. You always make that great point that there's these certain leaps. And to you, it seems to be the lightweights to welters around there. He didn't like something that was going on there. You know, a good solid win. I think Gvozdik's still really good. I think Gvozdik's better than you think he is still. I think he could still do some damage at 75.
I think he's just a lot slower than he was.
But so yeah, I guess so. This is more a statement that they made. So I guess I'll add a question onto this. Where do you think this is going? That guy we've laughed about a couple times, that's Canelo's mandatory. It's not happening. They're talking. They've already talked. They're already talking step aside money. So
that's where. Yeah, I saw that there was reports that there was money being some sort of bid, or money being offered, or negotiations taking place. Excuse me. And then quickly, the reporter, was Jake Donovan, said that doesn't mean that they're negotiating a purse. It could mean that they're negotiating step aside money. I
heard recently, as before we got on the air, that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
The question becomes, who is it? Is it Morel? Is it
that ain't happening?
And Billy, if he gets by Derevinchenko, which we totally forgot about last week. I don't know if you remember. We were like, oh, and Billy's ready.
Yeah,
we forgot that he's fighting.
He's fighting. Yeah, I think someone told us.
Fight, and I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think someone told us on social media, so I appreciate whoever told us.
Yeah, salute. We actually knew it though. We spoke.
Yeah, because we talked about it 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
So what do you think is happening here? All right, let's just go with.
I honestly think. Here's what I think.
If you say Berlanga,
I hope not. I don't think so. I think they're going to try to make the Benavidez fight before the year is out.
I do too.
I think that's realistic that that's going to happen.
I do too.
And I think that the handlers, Canelo's handlers, here's what I think. I think Canelo's handlers said, all right, you want to go try fucking 75? I tried 75. Go head up there and try that shit. You know what I'm saying? So now David comes back to 68 after he says, I don't want Canelo anymore. And Canelo's got an even bigger bargaining chip, be it rehydration, be it purse, be it whatever. You want you want the sweepstakes. You want to come take the title. You want to come do this, do that. I'm here. Here's how you're going to have to do it. Whereas in Benavidez, meaning the media the fans, etc., had sort of turned on Canelo a little bit, like, oh, Canelo, you're ducking. Even us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to see.
That's the fight that needs to be made. You know what I mean?
It's the fight that needs to be made. And you and I said the William Skulls of the world. Berlanga, if that's even anywhere near the table, we don't want to see that.
No.
What we want is this, and PBC, which seems to be breathing its last bit of life, needs this fight. So they need Canelo to continue to fight under their banner.
I'm okay with a September fight against any of these guys that you and I think are a soft touch. If he goes, I'll go September and then December Benavidez.
Right, of course.
Like he did that year where he had 4 fights. It was a couple ago, right? When
he
unified in the calendar year.
So I think I haven't heard anything. Maybe I'm crazy. Write in at KEOTBboxing@gmail.com if you think I'm crazy. Comment on our YouTube show. Think I'm nuts. Give us your takes out there, Nakis. But I think I'm keeping hope alive, and I think that sometimes you let someone go out and explore something else, and they come back and they say, you know what, I didn't like what I found, and I'm back, and I'm ready to seriously sit down and negotiate. I think part of this was, I know David or David's team have said, we'll do anything just to get the Canelo fight, but I don't really believe that to be true, because remember we said, but he booked a fight you just booked a fight at 75.
Right. While these, not negotiations, but while you're taunting and trying to get said fight,
you booked a fight
with Gvozdyk, who's not a hobo.
Right. You booked a fight. So
yeah.
I think that that's what they're gearing up for. And again, it was probably like, go tell everybody you're going back to 68 and then say you're back into like the Canelo sweepstakes or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we're eking into when something's got to be known soon, bro. It's the end of fucking June.
I know.
So you go.
Canelo Munguia was a month and a half ago already.
I know, insane. But you think about this, B. You go, all right, so July to September to when he fights, that's an 8-week camp.
Right. So it's,
yeah. So conceivably within 2-3 weeks,
we got to hear something.
This next one's long-winded because there's a lot of moving parts. So just bear with me or stop me and tell me, yo, hold on. If you want to comment, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's there's gonna be some chuckles for us because we don't like this person. So it's good to see how little people think of him. Top Rank have won the purse bids for Devin Haney, Sandor Martin with a bid of $2.42 million. Nobody else bid.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you can call something a win, babe, if you go, yo, Vin, you're the best rapper alive, and just I'm the only rapper that's alive. Every rapper died. So by default, I become because I'm the only one that's doing it.
Fighters for my mom used to tell me I'm her favorite son.
Right, because you're the only
I'm her only son.
Right. Yeah, you believed it then, like a dope. Fighters for Haney's WBC Super Lightweight World Title. Eddie Hearn on why Matchroom didn't bid on the Devin Haney versus Sandor Martin purse bids.
This is great.
This was brilliant. I mean, I wish we had the audio to play, but Eddie was great. Me reading it won't really do the justice of his fucking biting Brit sarcasm, where he basically was like, yeah, man, you have your own promotional company with this shit-eating grin on his face.
Well, here's where I want to hop in for those of you guys out there. So what happened was, typically there's purse bids. There's promotional companies can bid on a fight. They come up with a number. That number gets split, typically 70% for the champion, 30% for the challenger. If there's no champion and challenger, it's further negotiated. Devin Haney made like $5 million, I believe, $7 million, $4 million in his like last 3 or 4 fights, right? Big money.
Yeah.
He's set to make maybe 2 tops for this one, probably much less.
I saw the breakdown. It might even be in this bit of notes. It was like 1.4 to him.
$1.4 million to Devin Haney, right?
Yeah. And then
so that
600 and change, 600,000 and change to
and 400
Sandor
left for the
Martin.
promotion.
Right.
Yeah. So Martin will make a good payday for him. Haney coming off of a loss, even though it's been moved to a no contest, as everyone knows.
Yeah, he got beat up.
He got beat up. He's fallen out of favor. He's not a Eddie Hearn. If you guys can take a look at this, it's all over social media. Eddie explained, and he did air quotes, and I'll do it. He says, a lot of these guys have a promotional company.
Yeah, I was going to read it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So this is Eddie. We don't have a contract with Devin. It's not an appealing fight. It wasn't a fight DAZN were motivated by or one that had any value. Devin is a free agent and has his own promotional company. And when he said that, there was a really menacing grin, because all of these guys have their, have their own promotional company. But the story doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. Bob Arum has said that he would be open to making Teofimo Lopez versus Devin Haney for Lopez's WBO super lightweight world title if Haney opts to vacate instead of fighting Sandor Martin. Eddie Hearn has said he would be open to making Liam Paro versus Devin Haney for Paro's IBF super lightweight world title in October in Australia if Haney opts to vacate and not fight Sandor Martin. Eddie has also said he'd be open to making Liam Paro versus Devin Haney. Oh, wait. Did that repeat itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. That's right. Yeah, Liam Paro.
So there's options.
There's options here. And hey, man, if you're Devin Haney, you got that loss taken off your record. B said it, you're not held in high favor right now, and you got beat up. Everyone saw it. So I get it. I get the little attempts to be witty of putting the O back on your bio on your social media, and so I get
that's all cringe to me. Like he's like dancing and like happy that they did this.
Yeah,
Look,
he was dancing.
I get it, yo. You got cheated. You got fucked.
Sure.
I get it. The guy came in 3 pounds heavy. Yes. The guy likely has been and is on stuff. I heard one scientist guy was basically saying like he was probably microdosing for a while, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever I don't trust Ryan Garcia. I think he's a fucking piece of shit. But this is your opportunity to win the fans over and be humble. Not post a video where like you're brushing your shoes off and dancing that you got a no contest.
I would certainly come out and cut a promo and say, guys, I was in there with someone that was heavier than me, who popped hot. I'm still disappointed in how it ended.
Correct.
And, whatever happened, but I'm coming back and I'm going to fight a real guy and we're going to get this train back on the tracks. There's ways to handle things, man. Between him and his father.
It's perfectly stated.
They're just not likable people, man. And I'm not saying it's their job to be, but it's our job to cover the sport. Well, no, it's what I'm okay. But
if you want people to watch you,
if you want people to like you, you know what I mean? You can get to that. Bro, the thing is with the thing, when we have this formula that people 20 years later are still doing, well, Floyd turned heel and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Floyd was a brilliant fighter.
Right.
Yeah, no one's tuning in to watch Devin Haney get sparked out because they hate him. They're just not tuning in because he's a non-issue. He wasn't at 130 one of the most brilliant guys ever at 130. He wasn't at 135 one of the most brilliant guys at 135. He wasn't an all-time guy. He never will be.
And then didn't turn heel finally when he fought an Oscar De La Hoya caliber guy.
Correct. The biggest name in the sport at the time. Bigger than Mike, because Mike had fallen already.
Right.
So Oscar was the guy in the sport and was like, this is time to go full Vince McMahon heel shit. And because my hands hurt a little bit, my power isn't there. I was knocking guys out at 30 and 35, hurting guys.
That's and then naturally I moved up.
I'm a pure boxer now. To some people, to casual fans that just don't watch the sport every week, I might appear to be boring. What should I do? How about I make this country turn on me?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And they'll watch me to get knocked out. And I also think part of that was that, and let's call it what it is, Oscar was fucking him in that fight. The big ring, the big gloves, you know what I mean? Everything.
Oscar De La Hoya doesn't stop jabbing. He wins that fight.
Yeah. I mean, but again, he was getting caught in between that and confused, and yeah. But still,
I'm just saying he abandoned the jab and shifted and allowed Floyd to do those things.
Right. I don't disagree.
And I don't think that fight isn't looked back upon as close as it was. That was a split decision.
It was a splitter, yeah.
And you know, I'm not sure that I scored it for Oscar, but if that was a draw or something, Oscar did his thing that night.
Sure.
And that might have been the last great performance.
But again, had every in-ring advantage you can stack in your favor.
I'm not taking that.
Well, that's my point, is part of the heel turn Floyd did was like, everything stacked against me and still took the fight. What I'm saying is Devin's starting his career where Floyd, really his career as a household name, Devin, trying to become a household name, where Floyd was already ending his career.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Certainly on the third act.
Third act. Right.
I mean, you and I were watching, you know, Pretty Boy Floyd abuse people. I mean, you know, I recently talked about to someone who was bringing up Floyd, the Chop Chop Corley performance, who at that time had 2 losses, and they were both split decisions.
Yeah.
They were both questionable decisions. A guy, Chop Chop Corley, maybe the most in-shape guy in the history of the fucking sport. He's 109 and still shredded and still fighting wherever they'll let him. I mean, just abused him. This was a special guy.
Right.
You have to be special to get special treatment. They want special treatment, and they're not a special team or fighter. And that's where all of these guys get lost. Why is this happening to me? Why is Y, X, Y, and Z happening to me? Because you're not special. Floyd was. Oscar was. Young 85 to 89 Mike was. These were special talents that were doing a million pay-per-view buys, selling places out that you guys might not remember, like Trump Plaza, and all of Atlantic City is there. Everyone from the East Coast, from Philly, Jersey, and New York is in town for the weekend. They're bringing booming. You're creating. You're such a star that you're creating. You're generating financial success for cities. This is not what this kid or his father are doing.
No,
too dumb to know it.
And to your point, you could have redeemed yourself.
You had the opportunity.
And what Eddie's saying is, you also could have bid on your own fight and promoted this yourself. But you don't know how to be a promoter. You have a promotional company. And
Devin had a tweet like, I should have bid, almost being
Why didn't you?
And I'm like, no. You should have bid.
You should have bid and paid yourself.
And paid Martine, and had it be Devin Haney promote DHP.
And whatever, keep all the money.
And keep all the Scott. Oh, you had the opportunity.
You had the opportunity to do that. But you know what? That's hard.
That because if you're because B, let's look at it this way.
Well, hang on, Vin.
Yeah.
It's like when every rapper had a label.
Yes.
They'd come out and then they'd have a label. They'd come out. Who are the rappers? What are you doing for promotion? How are you? What are you shipping? And everything was, they had a distro deal, like old school hardcore shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it was like, oh, so you have a name that goes on.
Yes. It's a boutique. It's a vanity project.
It's a vanity project. You have a name on there, but let's just call it Arista or Columbia or
that's the label you're on.
That's the label you're on.
They gave you a boutique name and a vanity name, called Belong Records, and you brought your man, and Def Jam was like, "Yeah, I'll put them out." Def Jam has the ability to say, "No, I'm not putting him out." Then you don't have your own label. So if you have your own promotional company, then you don't have the capital to bid on your own fight. Correct.
You don't have a promotional company. Now, if you're doing something for a write-off and you're passing your money through this promotional company.
Yeah, other different story.
Two things. One, okay, fine. B, if your paper ain't right, the IRS is going to come knocking and find out what the fuck you're doing with this money.
Oh, yeah, they're already sniffing all of these guys.
Yep.
All these guys.
It's hard work.
I can't pay my lawyer, but I got on a $50,000 chain. Like my guy. Let's be smart here.
Let's be smart here. So like you said, there's a tweet. I should have bid on my own fight. He was mad at Eddie. Then sign a long-term contract. What vested interest would Matchroom have with you? Stop taking the Floyd Mayweather free agent. I got to be my own boss. I said it on this show. Not everybody can be their own boss.
You've talked about the people that have said it. Errol Spence, I'm my own boss. No, bro, you work for Al Heyman. You do. There's no shame in that. You're making millions of dollars.
There's no shame in that.
None, bro. It's when I say to you, B, why do you think these rappers that have 9-to-5s front like they don't on Instagram? And we were like, yo, there's honor in having a job.
There's honor in having a job.
There's honor. There's honor in being a fighter and a champion.
And if now this other medium has gotten you wealthy, I'm not even talking about boxing. I'm talking about these rappers, right? Who have become more popular due to Instagram.
Yeah, sure.
And you're getting paid off that.
Sure.
Own that.
Own that.
If your podcast is what you're getting paid from now, and that more than you could ever.
Look at Nori.
Look at Gilly. Look at Nori. Oh, these guys are all wealthy now because of their podcast, not because of their record sales.
Correct. It's I haven't sat down with them to ask questions, but a lot of these people will say things like, yo, I made, just like Big George did, remember with the grill? I made way more money than I ever did boxing. Right. If you told me the Revolt deal with Nori was more than what Nori made rapping, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know that it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I think
I would guess that it is.
I would guess that it is too. It's been way longer too. It's been
it's been a long time now and consistent.
And it's weekly. It's consistent. It's a paycheck. It may not be the upfront like crazy. Holy shit! We just did. What tour was that from like the late '90s? I don't know. Name
like the Hard Knock Life tour.
Yeah, like that they were on.
Smoke. Yeah,
Up in Smoke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like an Up in Smoke tour where it's like, holy fucking shit! They played arenas, 200 arenas in 1 year.
But to play devil's advocate, they also weren't the headliner.
They weren't the headliner.
It's like, yo,
so you figure
I'm the third bout on the card. I'm on a Floyd undercard,
right?
Which is great in theory, more eyes on me. But you're not getting Floyd money.
You're getting
$100,000.
And to your point about Errol Spence, Errol Spence made big money in this game. Big fucking money. Why do you hang it? Maybe you're your own boss in terms of the other side businesses you have.
Yes, of course. And that's to be proud of that. Maybe, I know he likes horses.
Right. Be proud of it.
And that stuff, you're your own boss. You're not you're not your own boss in boxing.
And we've said it. Are you building your own card? Are you building everything? Look, all right, let's call
it building a stable. Does Devin Haney
let's call it what it is.
Have any fighters?
Floyd wasn't necessarily his own boss. He had co-promoters, PBC and/or Golden Boy, his whole career.
Let's talk about Mayweather 2024. What is TMT in 2024?
Right. What is Mayweather? I mean, this whole LRB Richard Schaefer. We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, in terms of Floyd made big money, like the biggest money in boxing.
Yeah, ever.
Okay.
Ever, yeah.
But that doesn't change the fact that you still worked with and/or for somebody.
TMT is exactly what you were talking about with having a label. It's a vanity. It's a vanity promotional company. TMT is not a player in boxing.
No.
Then and now. You don't go,
if you have one fighter in tank for if Mayweather Promotions is actually a thing, you have one guy.
I don't think they have him.
Who fights every 14 months?
Who's that young kid? I like. He's really,
Kermel Moton.
Yeah, is he?
I don't know, but he ain't selling tickets.
No, not at all.
Right, but so it's a weird dynamic in this strange sport that, of course, we love.
Yeah,
but this is, and I've said it on this show, and I'll say it again. It is the only sport that I know of that you can legitimately go to your athletic commission in the state and declare yourself a professional. And you can go, I am a professional boxer. You and I could be professional boxers tomorrow as long as we
pass the physical and go get clobbered.
And pay the money.
Yep.
We can pay to be a professional. So with that said,
before we move, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say people don't understand what goes on, and I'm not going to break it down. What goes into actually being a promoter? It's so much fucking work. I don't think that most people would understand. If there are promoters that I'm talking small promoters. If there are guys who have promoted a boxing show about professional boxing men, please write us at KEOTB Boxing. I would love to champion your hard work. And I would love to come on this podcast and tell the rest of the listeners what you have to do to get a show. I'm not even talking about a televised show. Location.
We were always drawing parallels. It's like
it's the music industry.
It's like the people that I've helped. They talk about the things you didn't do for them, not the things you did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what fighters do with promoters.
Absolutely.
Not this guy got me on TV. Not this guy made me a star. Not this
guy we love, Shakur.
Yeah.
And Terrence Crawford. Like I personally think Terrence Crawford is fighting David Avenazan because he got mad at Bob.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe if I was Crawford, I'd be a little mad at Bob because of Bob's comments, and Terrence Crawford can't sell. And we can't figure it out why.
That's on. Yeah, that's he shouldn't have said that.
Shouldn't have said that. But like who knows what was happening behind the scenes, but Bob's getting you on ESPN.
Correct.
That's all. Or before that, HBO. He's putting you on big cards. You're getting on a big network. It's big distribution.
Of course. I remember I went to see the night that Bud fought Benavidez's little brother, Jose. I had gone to see Tracy Morgan do stand up, and because of Bob and his relationship with ESPN, I was able to walk out of the Tracy Morgan thing and go to the bar in the casino and say, "Can you put this on?"
And they put it on.
And they put it on because of what I've been able to do that in an age of the zone, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So it's like how many eyes were on him.
Right.
So I guess
sorry to get so in the weeds with that.
No, I mean we both did. I just want to end it by saying, look, man, we hold these guys, anything Garcia or Haney, things they say hold no weight for you and I, you know, certainly. No. He said he's taking a year off. I just read it before we went on.
Yeah, I saw it too.
So they're saying to each other now, after, you know, slandering each other, we're both coming back in a year and running this back. That's Ryan correct.
I think
there's a tweet back and forth.
I think that Haney looked at the numbers and said, I can't make a lot of money unless I fight this guy. And I want to make a lot of money.
I agree with you. And these other guys that I can't make a lot of money with are going to beat me. So what is better to happen?
Yeah.
This monstrous bag of a rematch. Oh, can you imagine the build-up?
Oh, the build-up's going to be insane.
It's going to be, and I don't mean it's going to be great to me and you. We'll be rolling our eyes. I mean how they will sell it.
They'll sell it, yeah.
And the you know, they don't happen anymore, but like the 24/7 type programs.
Oh yeah.
Imagine that. This, you know, 4-6 weeks leading up to this. The shit talking. They're both goofballs. It's gonna it's, you know, so yeah, I mean, look, it was 2 months ago. The year started from the fight for Garcia's suspension, not from when it was handed down.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at April of 2025, which is going to creep up, you know?
Yeah.
Couple quick more things. The WBO have now officially ordered Navarrete to defend the super featherweight world title in a rematch versus Oscar Valdez next. Parties have 20 days to agree to a deal, then purse bid. So I guess they didn't strip him when he went up. He still has that.
Yeah, he was able to hang on to that. I thought they said that on the broadcast.
Yeah, I don't think I was aware of that. So he lost that fight to Baranchek, right?
Yes.
Is that who it was? Or am I mixing up it was?
Yeah.
Is that the right guy?
Yeah. Right?
I don't know.
These fucking Ukrainian motherfuckers, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Who they were?
That's a different guy, Baranchek.
Yeah. Wow, the transnational boxing rankings don't even have the guy that beat Emmanuel Navarrete in their top 10.
Why? It's Dennis Baranchek, not Ivan Barat. Yeah, Dennis Baranchek.
I always mix them. I've done it like 40 times on our show.
Yeah, it's hard.
They don't have him in their top 10, B.
That's odd.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
What do you think about that fight? Emmanuel? Yeah. I don't give a fuck. Emmanuel Navarrete, Oscar Valdez.
We saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we called wouldn't happen is happening. Jack Catterall will face Regis Prograis, which I'm not mad at, in a super lightweight clash on August 24th at the Co-op Live Arena in Manchester. That's that giant new, huge. I mean, I don't know what Fast Eddie has up his sleeve here. Are they going to stack this? Oh, someone wrote me, B. We said, guys, write in, tell us about Catterall. Is he like a Fury? And this dude was like, nah, man. Like, only boxing heads know Jack Catterall over here.
Okay.
He's not.
Yeah, I thought that was like what Josh Taylor was always making fun of him. Like, no one knows you, like.
Right. Yeah. But someone wrote me and said, no, factually, where you guys were saying, no, he is not. That is not a fight. And nor is it a place that guy can and will sell out. So is there, because, all right, so August 24th, it's 2 months from when we're recording. Are they planning in the next couple of weeks to stack it with some heavyweights or some guys, some matchroom guys? That has to be the plan.
Yeah,
no?
I don't know. I mean, I'm getting kind of blown away here by a whole bunch of different, really boots at Wells Fargo, some matchroom decisions here on a card that doesn't sound good. This card,
you're absolutely right.
In Manchester.
You're absolutely right.
I'm kind of.
I don't remember the number we said, but we talked about the capacity. I think it was 18,000
at Wells Fargo.
At this co-op live arena, and it's this like beautiful, new state of the art sports thing. So I completely understand. Let's have a fight here to set it off. But this is the one. Seems bizarre.
What are the site fees at these places?
That's the other thing. That's the other thing. I mean, bro, and let's be honest about it. So, all right, we heard from people from the UK about Catterall not being a star there. Regis Prograis isn't a star here. It's not like they're getting a guy that's a huge US star, or a global star. You know what I mean? But like say, Floyd's going.
We like him.
Yeah, a young Floyd's going to London. Okay, no problem. It'll be huge. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or a US star. But for Regis Prograis, who's like a boxing guy's guy, like, oh yeah, I like Rougarou. He's a boxing guy's guy. Lastly, Virgil Ortiz versus Sergey Bohachuk is reportedly now being finalized for Bohachuk's WBC interim super welterweight belt on August 10th in Las Vegas. So, I'm happy to see that Virgil is coming back relatively quick. I think Bohachuk, I think he's got one loss and it's not good. What's that kid's name? Brandon Adams? Is Brandon Adams in that division 54? I think that's who he lost to.
Brandon Adams.
I think that's who he lost to, and that's not a great loss. I mean, so
he lost to him. 8th round TKO.
I thought, that's what I thought. So all right, look, guys, Friday night fights. We had some good stuff to watch on Friday night. I enjoyed the card thoroughly.
Me too.
I had problems with the app, but that has nothing to do with the card.
The only thing I didn't like about it, there's one, and you talked about it last week, the mascot, the Nova fight.
Okay, well, we'll get into that. We'll start.
Did you see the mascot dancing salsa?
Yes, it was my favorite part of the night, maybe. I want to hang out with the mascot.
Fuck yeah.
I want Abraham Nova to be at the next fight we're at with him.
With the mascot.
Yeah.
So me, you, Irish William, the mascot.
We'll poo Nova. Like, no. We want does the mascot have a name? I think he does.
I don't know, but I also
Supernova, right? Isn't that the mascot's name?
Yeah. And I also didn't put this together that Abraham Nova has Abraham Lincoln's beard.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Is that why he does that?
No, I don't think so.
I'm going to ask him.
All right. They started off. Well,
actually, I'll ask the mascot.
Right. Emiliano Vargas, Jorge Zaragoza. They're moving. Fernando's kids are very young. They move people well. Ironically, the one guy they moved too fast, in my opinion, was their father. I thought they moved Fernando Vargas.
Yeah,
it's one of the few guys I think they really mishandled historically, but that was a very long time ago, 25 plus years. Anything jump out at you with him?
That was a brutal knockout.
Yeah.
I can't say I was surprised. I think the Vargas kids out of all the boxers kids right now, like you said about moving them, they seem to be moving them to a direction where they're going to, fit them in for world titles. Like I said, brutal knockout. I like watching these Vargas kids.
Yeah. Me too.
And I like seeing this. They're good looking kids. They're in great shape. I think
bilingual.
Right.
That's huge.
I think they had a reality show at some point, right? Didn't he have a reality show 10, 15
Did
years?
they?
These guys were little kids in it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But now they're all grown up.
Your guy, Troy Isley.
Oh, Troy Isley.
Javier Martinez.
Guys had history. They split 2 in the AMs. Robert Garcia versus Bomac. Bomac versus Robert Garcia. So Isley is a Bomac charge. Javier Martinez is a Robert Garcia charge.
There's a nice little scrap.
Really nice scrap.
The inside work, man. Very old, very, very old school.
Yeah. Martinez a big southpaw. Isley.
Troy Isley's good.
He's good. He just doesn't have that. He doesn't have a lot of pop at the weight. So he's going to find himself in tough a lot. It's going to be long fights.
Well, that's the thing, man. These type of fights take a lot out of you.
Yep.
They were slinging them dogs, man. This was old school. I was gonna say Friday night fight, but it actually was on the Friday night. This is old school Blue Horizon, Tuesday night fights on USA, Friday night fights on ESPN.
I really like what Isley does. I gotta say, man, I mark out for Bomac trained fighters. Like
I
these
do too. Bomac's a good trainer.
And what is the co-trainer? The Mexican guy that
what do you mean? What is he?
What's his name? Who is he? Sorry. What is his name?
I don't know.
Because if you listen to they have a great rhythm in the corner. And Bomac will say, "All right, coach, got anything you want to add?" You know what I mean? And then that guy jumps in and and excuse me for saying it like that, but I really, a lot of times you and I talk about there's too many voices in the corner. These guys really seem to have it down pat. They put, two sets of eyes on the fight. And I actually think it benefits these guys. Their fighters always seem relaxed and calm. He'll tell them what he's doing wrong.
Yep.
Step right. You're not pumping the jab. Get in there. You did this well.
Yep.
Can you please pump the jab? Do this. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Corners.
Very calm corners. And I like that. I tell you what wasn't calm was Robert Garcia in the corner for Javier Martinez.
Losing his fucking mind. Hey, B, I like what you said about Troy Isley and pop at this weight or lack thereof. I think he's going to be in really good fights, but tough ones. And that's hard to sustain. It doesn't mean either one of us think he can't beat guys, but he's going to have to.
And his talk style,
about lunch pail guys, right. Man.
And he's got he fights in the pocket the whole fight.
Bro, these motherfuckers were in a phone booth.
Yeah.
And they were slinging dogs. I'm going, Maron, while I'm watching it. And high level stuff. Not there's
both guys are really good. Both guys, Olympic pedigree, both guys.
Technically sound war. And by war, I'm not talking about it in the traditional sense of the word, where you're thinking, nah, man, what are you talking about? A war is Hagler Hearns. I'm talking about crisp shots, body, head, short shots. I mean, sitting down on their punches, just type of fights that take a lot out of you. I'm not talking about those ones that take a lot out of you, you know, he took a lot of damage to the head or stuff like that. I'm just talking about those two are probably still laying around the house feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Not probably,
Absolutely.
definitely. And you know, how many do you have in those? Everyone has you know, their punch card that you can take this many before you start slipping. And what would you like to see happen with Troy Isley next? Because one thing you and I have said recently multiple times, this division is wide open. And I think it's a really good time for Troy Isley to press these guys to make some of the if
I think whatever pull Bomac has, you know, in terms of the promoter and in terms of getting him on some big cards, you know.
Well, let me throw some names at you, Big. Let's talk about the top 10, because I think Troy Isley can hang around with a lot of these guys, you know.
I mean, too.
Obviously, when I say that, you know, so we'll go from bottom to the top, you know, no Diddy. Ammo Williams is hanging around at 10. Kyron Davis, who I like a lot and think is very good. Yo, shut it down, Kai. That's my guy.
He just won a big fight. So
he won a big fight. We talk you know,
I think you could, as far as I'm concerned, you could probably stop there.
He's a local,
but that's where I'd like to see Troy Isley fight him.
Let's go, Kyron Davis, Troy Isley. That's a great fight.
I'd like to see that fight.
And both of them fight like old school fighters. One's trained by Breadman and trains out of Philly. The other guy trains with Bomac, the old styles. Liam Smith, Chris Eubank Jr. No. Carlos Adamez, Troy Isley. I don't see him getting steamrolled by Carlos Adamez.
I think that would be a tougher fight to make, because I think Isley's too good, but not popular enough.
Exactly. All risk, no reward.
Yeah.
It's the same with Janabek, you know, because it's like there's a couple belts. You got to make Janabek, Adamez unify, and then these guys that we're talking about can start getting cracks.
Agreed.
So let's make shut it down, Kyron Davis.
And
we're playing matchmaker, guys. Troy, two really, really good fighters. Guys, if you're not hip to them, you too
go check them guys out.
They can fight, man. Moving on. Andres Cortez versus Abraham Supernova. An absolute crooked card turned in by Dave Moretti. I could not believe it.
Give Abraham Nova a big fight. Treat that as a win, as far as I'm concerned.
Please give him a reward for winning this fight. Please get him.
That was a fucking shame.
There soon. He's not a kid. He's not old by any means. He's not a kid. This is the time. He's really good, guys.
Yeah.
Abraham Nova's really good. He does a lot of good stuff in there, subtle stuff, foot feints. He's good. He's smart in there. He's a good dude as well. It was heartbreaking how classy he was about the loss. You know, when someone goes nuts and complains and they got robbed and you're like, yeah, he should be mad, you know? And then sometimes people go, you know, man, it's the sport. And that's what he said. This is boxing. Things happen. And that crushed me more, big. If I'm being honest with you.
Classy like Abraham Lincoln.
Yep. Look, can we get him a big fight, B?
I hope so. I hope they get him a big fight, because that was some old fucking bullshit.
I mean,
you know, like I said, Moretti had that card filled out before the fucking fight started. Fuck all that. I got not much to say about it. I hope they get him something nice.
I mean,
who in that division?
He's at 130, right?
Yeah. He just fought O'Shaquie Foster.
Right. And that fight was close.
Absolutely.
He hurt him at the end, which might have won O'Shaquie Foster fight.
I mean,
let him run that back. Conce Sal's a good fight. No? For him? Or you don't like that?
Yeah, that's fine, but that's who O'Shaquie Foster's fighting next.
Who's the guy you like? Anthony Kakache.
The Irish Italian guy?
Yeah, can we get that?
I would do that. I think that's a good fight. That's a really good fight. And he just beat Cordina for a belt.
Right.
So I would
Lamont Roach. I'd like to watch Abraham Nova beat up Lamont Roach. Can you make that?
We got Lamont Roach coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So well, let's get to the main event. Rafael Espinosa versus Sergio Chirino Sanchez. Bro. 12 rounds for the feather. WBO. This Rafael Espinosa is fun. Fun to watch, B. Fun fighter to watch.
I'm telling you right now, at that weight, I'm not sure anybody beats him. This is
6 foot tall.
6'1", 126 pounds. And this is where we stand. And I thought about this after I watched the fight. I was over down the block from my house, and I was thinking to myself, what am I going to talk about with Vinny on Monday?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he draws a parallel to me with Hamza Shiraz in terms of.
I like that. I really, really like that comparison.
The style and just the natural dominance, God-given dominance. I say that because he's 6'1", 126 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, this is freakish stuff here, guys.
He's got power. He's got speed. He's got quickness. This isn't, not taking anything away from him, this isn't like Sebastian Fundora where he's just kind of like a big octopus.
Yeah.
This guy shows different wrinkles in terms of his defense, his offense. He varies stuff up. Espinosa's really good.
If you want to throw some fun in there, guys, he can be hit too.
Absolutely.
If you can get inside, which, you know, if that's the thing about you know, Mexican fighters, they're there to fight. So he could just jab the shit out of you. When you and I would talk about Fundora, why doesn't he just stand on the outside and jab your head off?
Right.
They're Mexican. They're going to go to war. Chirino landed some right hands.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not like he can't be touched, but I have a hard time going through 126 here.
I want to see him. I want to see him versus Brandon Figueroa. Right.
I mean, that kid throws a lot of punches. So if you're talking about a matchup, you know, and B is playing matchmaker here, that's the most interesting one. You got guys like Josh Warrington that's still hanging around, Ruben Villa, Raymond Ford,
Nick Ball,
Robisi Ramirez. Who he beat? They're saying that's what's next is the rematch. If Robisi Ramirez does what he's supposed to do this coming, you know, is it this week or
right?
Is it coming up?
I would like to see Espinosa versus Nick Ball, 6'1" versus 5'2" at the same weight.
And
that's like Manute Bol fighting Muggsy Bogues.
It is. I like that we flipped our switch on Nick Ball because he was like a maniac the other week, and we go, maybe I'll watch this kid.
I'll watch him.
Yeah,
I'll watch him in that fight. But I really,
I'm with Brendan. I find it very difficult to look up every matchup at 126 and say who can anyone hang with this guy here. You know, and then when he eventually moves up, he's going to be 6'1" at 130.
Right.
You know, and he's going to be 6'1" at 135.
He's 30 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, this is the time to make.
But he's still making this weight.
Yeah. If you're 30 and still making it, he might make it okay and hang around.
Right.
There's a handful of fights there, B.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Certainly. I mean, yeah. If you told me he's fighting Lee Wood next, I'd be like, okay. I mean, it's not the first one I picked, but I'm not angry.
Get him on my TV again quickly.
Luis Alberto Lopez is still he's 30. He's 30 wins with 2 losses. You know,
right?
So it's not like he's been around forever in your head. But
get him back on my TV.
Look, that Robisi Ramirez Rafael Espinosa fight was fun. Let them run it back, and then from there, let's try to start unifying guys here.
Well, let's see. We got Robisi Ramirez this weekend. We'll talk about that a little later in the show, but we'll also talk about how he was dressed, which was dressed like a
Ramirez.
Robisi Ramirez dresses like a pop star from 1990.
Yeah,
he's like the lost member of like the New Kids on the Block, or like when one of those pop groups would bring in like a new guy.
Yeah,
like,
he looks like he took Joey's spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the little. He had like the little round glasses on and shit.
Frosted tips. He looks like he's like Guy Fieri had, dude.
Right now, you and I always talk about seeing guys on the street.
Yeah.
In street clothes, you wouldn't think that this guy would punch you a face out of the back of your head. You know.
Luckily for me, I know who Robeisy Ramirez is, because I would fucking poke him right in the middle of his head if I was in a bar, and he would fucking dog walk me.
I mean, at least with like the MMA guys, they got the cauliflower ear, so
yeah, you can sense something.
You're like, oh, that guy, something's wrong with him.
Right.
But
this guy's touched.
This Robeisy Ramirez is camouflage.
He is.
You know what I'm saying?
He looks like a K-pop singer.
That's what I'm saying. This guy's walking. Wild. This guy's walking around, fucking, doing scales.
Yeah, man. I mean, his outfit was wild. So, guys, he's fighting Brandon Leon Ramirez. 10 rounds. The expectation is that he gets by him.
Yeah.
And what happens then is the rematch with Rafael Espinosa.
Try to get back that WBO featherweight belt.
They are. Okay. Before we get into that card real quickly, we spoke briefly about Lamont Roach. It was he's fighting Fergal McCoy Jr. For the WBA strap, B?
Yeah.
12 rounds pro box. We told you guys.
In DC. Pro box is out of Florida for this on a Thursday night. So we told you
guys that they were going to slowly but surely start upping the comp and the quality of the fights, even though the quality has been very good matchmaking wise from the beginning. Maybe you tuned in because of us and said, hey, this is good, but we don't really know who these guys are.
Right.
Hey, Angelo Leo fought on there.
Yep.
Now Lamont Roach, these guys are ranked. These are ranked guys. This is for a belt. This is very big for Pro Box. Guys, you can watch it. You can get the Pro Box app, or you can just watch it straight on YouTube.
I'm not familiar with Fergal McCrory.
I'm not familiar,
but he's from the Emerald Isle.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
If I knew anything about him, I'd pick him over Lamont Roach. I'll tell you that right now. If I knew anything. Okay. You want to know my pick? My pick is Lamont Roach, because I don't know anything about Fergal McCoy. If I knew anything,
he's a fighter. If I knew
he had both arms, I would pick him, but I don't. If you send me a picture of him right now and he has all his limbs and faculties, I pick him.
Oh shit!
But I guess I'm picking Lamont Roach. Guys, Thursday night Pro Box.
No, come see me fight him. It's Fergal McCoy. Does he fight like the old Fighting Irish?
Yeah, like the Notre Dame logo,
the Notre Dame mascot.
All right, so this next cause we might have to bring in Billy Betts and see what we have going here on the zone. We have our guy Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Juan Francisco Estrada for the junior bantam WBC and Ring Magazine belts. Guys, that's the real belt. You're the man when you have that.
Bam Bam versus Gallo. Bam Bam Southpaw, Gallo Orthodox. Bam Bam 23, Gallo 33. 33 years old at junior bantamweight, might as well be 43 years old at any other weight. Estrada's been in there with everybody.
Everybody. To the point where you go, I don't know how he could have fought all these people and I can still pick him.
I can't believe he's only 33.
Yeah, I agree.
He
fought Chocolatito.
Quadras.
Yeah, Quadras, who was great.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
He's a Hall of Famer before this fight. Bam Rodriguez has the opportunity, if he wins this fight, right now I'm saying it, if Bam beats Estrada, already
Hall of Famer?
Hall of Famer at age 24.
I agree. Do we have anything here? Irish Billy Betts.
Yep. Bam is minus 475.
That seems I'm not gonna say it's disrespectful. No line.
Yeah, there are rounds 10.5.
Oh, I don't know. So Gallo's never been stopped in 47 fights.
I like the under. Bam stops him. Bam stops him in 10. In the 10th round. Too much.
Bam stopped Soar Rungvisai.
Yes.
Bam stopped previously undefeated Sonny Edwards.
Sonny Edwards.
Bam.
He's too much. He's too much.
But he went the distance, Bam, with Quadras.
He did.
Israel Gonzalez, Christian Hernandez. Vinny, Paz. Bold pick.
Bam in 10. He's too much. He's too much. Constant pressure. Throws him when you try to get off, he's throwing in between those shots. And when you're trying to deal with him defensively, he's lighting you up then too. There is other than running
there's no rest.
In guys, when I say running, I mean in the sense of boxing. I don't mean literally.
Yeah.
Just unless he fights Bam the way that Charlo fought Canelo, which is just trying not to get beat.
Right.
You can't. There is nothing you can do to stop his attack. If you throw in between his shots and hurt him, my guess is that's is your best shot, and something's coming back at you. If you try that, if that is the game plan, I'm going to throw with him. You're going to get hit with, he's going to throw 8 punches. And if you're going to try to catch and shoot, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. It may
Gallo is an all action guy.
He is.
So it's offense.
I think they're going to sling dogs until it stops being sustainable for him. I
love that term.
I think it's a hell of a fight. And then I think around the 4th or 5th, you see the shift. You see dominance. And then you say, it's starting. It's starting. He's starting to break him down. Body shots. You said it. 33 years old, might as well be 38, 40, 42 in these divisions. Say he might as well be 40 years old. He's going to go downstairs. He's going to go downstairs, which he already does beautifully. And that's going to create stuff up top.
Wow. Okay, so I got
10.
I'm going to say it goes the distance, but it's dominant. Second half of the fight will be a dominant. Bam will dominate the second half of the fight. I think it's going to be close to first half of the fight.
I think it's close to 4 or 5, and then it starts to shift. Look, Bam in 10 is the specificity, but I like the under at 10.5.
Okay.
That means halfway through the 11th round.
You got to also consider that Gallo hasn't fought in almost 2 years.
I'm considering all of this, and it's why I think that
Bam being more active, younger.
Yes, Bam's going downstairs with vicious shots.
I just think Estrada knows how to survive.
He does. Great fighter.
I think he's going to survive. I think he's going to survive.
I don't think he can.
I hope you're right.
36 minutes is a lot with Bam Rodriguez, and I don't think he can do that.
All right.
Sonny Edwards, Adrian Curiel, 12 rounds flyweights. Tough, man. Sonny got beat up.
Yeah.
So
certainly did.
Did he get beat up, B? And it's it looked. I don't know what the verdict was. It looked like broken orbital shit, but I don't think it could be if he's fighting this quickly.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
But he was busted up bad.
Sure. Curios. I'm gonna go ahead and say Sonny in a decision here. Obviously, I don't think Sonny's gonna knock this guy out. Curiel's been stopped once in his last fight, but I don't think that Sonny's going to be the one to do it.
Yeah, against Sonny, who we try to be careful with our words when we say a guy can't punch. We don't have to be careful with Sonny. He can't crack an egg.
Yeah,
but he still manages. I like Sonny Edwards a lot.
Yeah,
and he still manages to be entertaining.
He's a slippery shit.
He is. And I like watching him, but some people don't, some people throw it out the window. Oh, this guy can't punch. He's out of there. I think, look, unless Sonny got one of those life-altering fades where you're never the same again type beatings against Bam.
Yeah.
And I hope he didn't because I like him. I think Sonny Edwards wins a decision.
Yeah, I think he wins a decision. All right.
Billy, is there anything there? Sonny Edwards, Adrian Curiel?
Yeah, Sonny's minus 400. I don't have rounds yet.
It's going to be the over.
Yeah, they might not. I don't think this can ever happen, but it might be like the 12th round or something.
Yeah.
Weird like that. The only thing that could happen is Sonny getting clipped, really.
Right. And then on ESPN,
yes,
of course, boxing shoots itself in the foot.
Yes. Last week we have nothing on Saturday. This week we have 2 competing cards. Explain that to us, guys, if you can, because we can't.
So we got Teofimo Lopez against Steve, the Dragon, Claggett. Dragon's been on a hell of a run at this point in his career. He's breathing fire. He's flying around the ring.
He's zipping around in Dungeons and Dragons. He's in Game of Thrones as a star.
Yeah. This is down in Miami.
I'm very curious to hear some of the stuff Irish Billy bets on this one. Hey guys, Teofimo Lopez is the real guy at 140.
And maybe the most inconsistent champion we've seen in years.
He might be. He's certainly the most inconsistent current fighter of champions.
Right?
Of high level guys. It's why it's so tough. If I'm being honest,
he is a nightmare for bettors.
Oh, I can't imagine. That's why I'm very curious to see, what's going on here. Because, guys, I'm going to be brutally honest here. The Teofimo Lopez that we saw flashes of should just blow out. This should be a 3-round fight.
Right.
And then you got to go, this guy might struggle with him and go 12. I mean, I don't.
I mean, he hasn't scored a knockout. Let's see. He knocked out Comey. The Lomachenko fight. Yes. The Lomachenko fight. Lost to Kambosos. Stopped Pedro Campa. Okay.
Yes.
And then went to 2 years ago. Goes the distance with Sandor Martin, Josh Taylor, Jermaine Ortiz. And now he's in there with the Dragon.
Something up to my friend and co-host constantly drives home, and that is, guys, these junior lightweights and lightweights that go up to junior welter and welter, it's probably the most difficult jump in the sport.
Sure.
Currently and historically. The concussive knockouts that you saw out of him, whether the competition was there or not, that's gone. That's not that.
Yeah.
It's really a matter of, does he let this now? Steve Claggett has, like 47 fights, I think.
Dragon?
Total. Yeah. He's been stopped once. Now, you have to remember that, the level of competition.
He was stopped back in 2011 by Romeo Jacolism, who's got 20 losses and been knocked out 14 times.
Irish Billy, what do we got going here?
The Dragon went on a hell of a run since then.
Teofimo Lopez, Steve the Dragon Claggett.
Teofimo minus 1,100. 10.5.
So even Vegas really doesn't have a lot of confidence
in Teofimo beating
Teofimo.
up a guy, even beating a guy up like Steve Claggett.
Yeah, and stop it.
Look, man,
this is really difficult to pick. I would money line this. I would money line Lopez. I would just pick a winner. You, Vin?
Well, look, man, the show is like what we think will happen versus the running jokes with Irish Billy Betts. You know what I'm saying? There's two different things. What do I think will happen? I think he beats him up and stops him in 8.
Okay.
I think, look, when there's this much of a disparity, okay. Look, I thought Sandor Martin beat Teofimo Lopez, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, guess what, B? I think Sandor Martin's fucking pretty good fighter.
Right.
I don't think Steve Claggett is. He's a hell of a nice guy. I saw an extended interview with him. Meaning you say, interview 3 questions, say the right things, and da-da-da. They were stalling for time because of knockouts on that Christian and Billy card.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that card? The one in Montreal?
Yeah.
And they talked to him for like 15 minutes. He's like maybe the nicest guy ever,
Canadian. They're super nice.
No, I mean, nothing would make me do a jig up and down my street than him slipping a shot and popping Teofimo right on the jaw and and flying his head. Nothing
thinking those talons in.
Those talons. Those talons in. Irish Billy Betts, the great Pazzini, all over that under.
Ooh.
Like a cheap suit.
I'm actually going to have to agree. I think this is so they were mentioning on Friday.
You made a point. Can I just real quick? You made a great point. Vegas has such little faith in this boob, this mental patient, Teofimo,
that they're saying 10.5, which is like standard that you can take the money. It's like telling you to take the money line.
It pretty much is being like, you know what? This is going a distance.
Yeah.
We know it.
Right.
Because this guy is such a head case.
The other day, I think it was Tess kept saying Troy Isley, Javier Martinez was a pink slip fight. Right. So Top Rank can't figure out to do with 2 guys pretty much equally matched at middle. They don't have enough room to promote them.
Great way to put it.
I almost think that for Teofimo Lopez, this Steve Claggett fight might be a pink slip fight in terms of, like, you better show up or show out. You know what I mean?
Like, in my opinion, okay, I've said this a couple times in the history of the show. I've said it most recently about Xander Zayas. Yo, you better show out, my guy.
Right.
Beating Patrick Teixeira in a lopsided fight that was not entertaining. You showed me you're not the guy. If Teofimo wants to get back in the pantheon, because this guy is the real guy and no one cares.
Right. Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody, bro. Josh Taylor, 4-belt real guy at 140. He was the man that beat them, a unified lineal champion. Teofimo beat him. He beat him up.
Yeah, no one gives a shit.
No one gives a fuck. He's
fighting. He's fighting. He's fighting in between. He's fighting in an arena that holds 3,200 people.
Yes, when people are on the internet and they're talking even Haney's name, Haney, Tank, Ryan. Ryan's not good. Haney's not good.
Right.
Tank is good. Their names come up when you're talking about these people who walk in between 35 and 40.
Right.
Before Subrael lost, people's name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, Liam Paro's being talked about more than Teofimo. At least right now, probably because it was an upset. Fair enough. He went to Puerto Rico and won. I'm just saying, no one gives a fuck.
Does the Dragon fly in to Florida and then fly home to Canada? The Canadian
does he carry the belt? Does he take the belt with his talons and fly back to the Great White North? His talons to the Great White North.
This is insane.
Does he upset him?
No, I don't think he does.
Let's get a pick.
Okay, all right. I think I actually think Lopez is going to beat the shit out of him and knock him out. I think it's going to be like a highlight reel knockout. I think I think the pressure's on. I think we see a massive knockout.
I'm saying 8. If the Teofimo that I saw flashes of stuff, it comes earlier.
I'm gonna say 6.
I'd say 4, 5, or 6. If
6, I'm gonna go 6-round knockout. Billy, I don't bet that confidently. Again, if I'm telling Billy what to do, I'm saying
I bet that fucking under more motherfucking confidently than
okay.
That
I like when you guys say this. Well, I'm not going to go with Mussolini, but
well, it's not really a mush. It's the victory. But
right,
I'm saying stay safe on Teofimo because he's so fucking unpredictable in terms of
safe, Billy. That's not how you. That's not how you became Irish Billy Betts.
This guy's fucking take your hands off the wheel, close your eyes, and
that's what I'm talking about.
Woo, let's go.
Let Jesus take the wheel. Let Billy. Jesus. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Isn't that what these
let Pazzini take the wheel.
Let Pazzini, Billy. Let the great Pazzini take the wheel.
Oh,
let Tony Taro take the wheel.
Tony Taro. Look at him. There he goes.
He's blind. Guys driving, zipping around New Jersey.
I said that's it for. I'm really excited for Bam and the DAZN card. Vin, is that a pay-per-view? Is that a DAZN pay-per-view? Or is it on regular DAZN?
I don't think it is. I can look, but I don't think it is.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's great.
I can just go on my DAZN app, I think, but I'm having problems with that. Do we have any mail while I'm looking, or no? Because I'm looking for DAZN.
We have mail.
Oh, let's see.
What do we have, William?
All right.
Do you have anything from Fiero McCrory?
Yeah. There's a couple.
They wrote just a mail on a slate.
I just want to mention, guys, listen, we can't answer everybody. Some of the longer ones are hard to read on air, but I just I told Brendan to go on and answer some emails. So
don't
send them in and
put me on the spot here.
He wants to answer your emails directly. So
I think Irish Billy should answer the emails.
All right, we have Tyler Nolan coming in. He says, this is a question for Pazzini ultimately, but I know where B stands on Tank's performance against Martin, but I still don't know where Vin stands. I agree Tank needs to fight a real guy at 135, but it seems Vin can't get past Tank's lackluster resume and the obnoxious Tank/PBC fanboys to give a breakdown outside of Tank looking like shit. Vin, are you at the point where you will not spend the energy assessing Tank's performance until it's against someone in the top 3? Is he just that unlikable that at this point it doesn't matter?
Top 3. I'm not getting into that as much as I'm just a real guy with a real resume who fought and beat real guys. I try my best to just not look. I think Tank's good, man, and he's a good fighter. He's got concussive power. That's clear. I think he looked like shit leading up until the end, until he hit Frank with that 2-piece to one, the uppercut set it up, and then he laid him out. But yeah, that's fair. How he broke it down. It's just getting old for me.
You seem disappointed.
I am
in Tank, right?
I am. Whereas other people, where it can look like hate, and I'm like, he's gonna be 30 soon. Definitely by the next time he fights, it's time to get cooking.
I also think if he didn't crash his car into a bus stop full of people, beat on his girl, and do a whole bunch of other shit, we probably wouldn't be as harsh on him. But he's a bad guy too.
Well, all right. Look,
it makes you not like him.
If I'm separating the two,
and you do a very good job, by the way, of separating it. I think we try to as much as we can on this show. He's a very unlikable person.
He's up at the top for me for being unlikable.
He's a pretty unlikable.
He's pretty unlikable motherfucker.
Pushes people at the weigh-ins, which we hate.
Yes.
Always putting his hands on people.
Yes.
He again, we talk about it like the guy ran over a bunch of people.
He's not a good person.
No.
Yeah. What's this guy's name? Be
Tyler.
Tyler. Yeah. I mean, Bob is 100 years old. He's saying there's talks for a Loma fight. B and I aren't biting yet. No Diddy.
Yeah.
If it does, then it's time to talk.
Right.
Thursday night, 9 p.m. Ronald Ellis is fighting on the zone.
Oh, I left that off of here.
I'm not saying we don't have to discuss it. I'm just telling there's a card on Friday night, and no, according to my app, it's not a
pay-per-view, right?
It is not a pay-per-view. Yeah. And I think Marco Huck is fighting Saturday afternoon.
I left that. I left that up. The Ronald Ellis, how many? He's lost like 3 in a row, right?
I think so.
I think that's why I left him off.
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah. It's nothing we got to break down.
Yeah.
No. That's not what I was bringing.
Sorry, Ronald.
I was just scrolling and said, oh yeah, that's happening too. So a bunch of fights this weekend. Yeah, man, it's just tough, man. Tank doesn't make it easy, is what I'm trying to say for you.
Certainly,
it's like he'll do some things. Look, and then it's everyone's gassed again because look at that knockout. Right. There's no consideration to who he did it to. There's Tank, there's Tank is the face of boxing talks again. There was a ton of people there. I heard the pay-per-view shit the bed. I heard it did 200,000 or lower. I'm not gonna say where I got that number because I'd like to keep getting numbers. I heard the pay-per-view shit the bed. It was packed in there. People were going nuts.
Did you hear anything about? Oh, never mind. Okay. No. It's you answered it already. Sorry. All right. Anything else, Bill?
We got Dan Embleton. I want to note that he signs off as a loyal Water Buffalo in the UK chapter.
Nice. Mm-hmm. I like how Knockies has the Knocker Nation has offshoots now.
Mm-hmm.
Now have the Water Buffalo.
What's your best? Do you have?
Yeah, it's like Crip and Blood, like sub gangs.
Yeah.
It's
dope. It's
dope. Rolling 60s.
Yeah, we're spreading.
Best UK accent. Before I go,
me best accent from the UK. I don't dance for you. Okay,
right. He's not a bad.
I think the fans want it as the chairman of the Water Buffaloes. I make requests.
It's the chairman of the Water Buffaloes. Right. I could do like an Eddie, like an Eddie Hearn, like Vinny was doing before. You can sort of do like a. It's right now. We've got the Water Buffaloes in UK. We have here in the States.
If he thinks this Ahmadaliev is not the right fighter, then Bob is crazy.
Bob's off his kettle. He's just not right in the head.
He's a wanker.
He's a wanker.
They think you're a bear on a tricycle. These Knockies.
That's what I'm saying.
These Water Buffaloes.
Billy wants me just to dance for him.
He does.
Do my shuck and jive.
Shuck and jive. Is that it?
No. Dan goes on to say, main thing he wanted to say is that AJ versus Fury sells 90,000 tickets at Wembley. No problem. Vinny, this guy who's telling you different is a dunce.
Agreed. I
like that.
I agreed.
I think Fury standing with UK fans took a hit with the Usyk loss. Feels to me like people are starting to come around to the idea that maybe he's not all that, especially with Wilder's recent losses. You guys were right. Go ahead.
No. He's talking crazy again, B. I watched the fight again. I won easy. 8-4. I got to knock him out. I can't get a decision against him. Stop, man. Stop. You lost. It's all right. You lost to a generational talent.
But he goes on to say, you guys were right, however, when you said that as long as the big guys fight at some point in the next couple of years, it's a massive fight over here.
Yeah, I mean, again, B and I don't reside there, neither does Billy, but I'm there enough and have enough friends there, and I know that, Cool.
And two top heavyweights, if it's like 2 and 3 in the division,
right? Of course, this guy's got a loss. This guy's got a loss.
That are both from the same relatively small country, beating the shit out of each other.
I think Ron Lyle was worried about fucking one loss. Stop the man. Get out of here.
Right.
Real quick, I want to jump to Louis. He had a couple things to say, but I just want one piece of his. I want to read out.
It's Louis.
Hey.
Louis, how you doing?
Louis points out, he said he wanted to point something out. The first ever place I heard any chat about Saudi was here. Many episodes ago, I remember Vinny saying he knew some big moves coming from Saudi. Look what we have now. I would call that a scoop. We as Nakis should appreciate this, as it shows the pod's on point.
Oh, this Louis. Put me over. Oh, Louis.
Ming.
Ming. He likes Tony Taro.
It's Tony, this fucking guy. Look, he goes, this fucking Tony Taro with the fucking picks, with the knowledge, with the fucking prediction.
Yeah.
Boom, Tony Taro with a little prediction.
With the prediction.
You know?
The master of accents.
There he goes. There he goes.
There he goes.
That's it for the mailbag.
All right, guys. Stuff's about to heat up. It's like 6 weeks in a row, I think. So
yeah, we'll be working overtime.
We will.
All right, you can find me at the KillerB24 on Twitter, at I_no_that_kid. Write us at KEOTBboxing@gmail.com. Find us at KEOTBboxing on IG, and find us at KEOTB podcast on YouTube. Vinny.
Yeah, I think we're streaming full episodes now, guys. If that's the way you're into it. We just try to put it up as many ways, to get you guys. But tell a friend. Typically
tell a friend.
For real. Telephone, tell a friend, telemundo.
Telemundo and telemundo.
Yeah, I'm at Vinny_Paz on Twitter. At BoxCutterPazzy on IG. Guys, do me a favor. Go to jmtstore.com and sign up for the mailing list. It's dope. And we'll keep you on, up on all info regarding everything. The podcasts too. Music, whatever's going on with us. At jmtstore.com is where you can find all my stuff.
Yo, get that Jacinto's praying mantis.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, that's the new joint. I appreciate all the kind words that I've received from all of you guys regarding the new music. It means a lot to me. And we'll see you guys next week.
Say goodnight, Billy.
Good night, TV Land.